Hello, my coven, sick and tired here. Today, we are going to be reading from Reddit, and we are just going to be dipping our toes into everything. We have insane parents, we have entitled parents, we have am I overreacting? Just some of what I thought was very share-worthy posts I came across recently on Reddit. If you are enjoying my content, please consider liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications. That way you never miss our weekly coven gathering. All right, let's read. Parents at Comic-Con telling me and other Leia cosplayers, shame on you, for our costumes. I've been to several Comic-Cons and have never had anyone say anything negative about any costume I've worn. Today I picked my Leia costume of the costume she wore in Return of the Jedi when she was captured by Jabba the Hutt, which never had any issues before. And if you've ever been to a Comic-Con, it's a costume many wear. Probably the most famous costume that Princess Leia is known for, I'd say. Walking around with my husband and my friends, a little kid no more than 4 was walking by with his parents, says,
"This woman is half naked."
I don't think anything of it because the costume is exactly how Leia looked in the movie. The mother catches up to me and says,
"How dare you wear that? There's kids here."
I notice her cross around her neck and I simply say, clearly you've never seen Return of the Jedi. This costume is perfectly allowed. Plus, I'm not the only one wearing a cosplay like this. She tells me she doesn't watch movies with sorcery or witchcraft, and I'm the 6th person she's seen in the costume as well. She plans to contact the con when she gets home to tell people that costumes should be banned? What? Clearly this woman has never been to Comic-Con. The cross necklace, I was about to say, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or you wear a cross necklace. You can still enjoy Comic-Con. But then when she's going into the whole witchcraft and sorcery and stuff, then why are you there? Whatever, lady. She wouldn't like us. I told her the con will tell her to mind her own business. They absolutely will. They would laugh this woman off the phone. And that as long as a costume isn't revealing anything it shouldn't, then the costume is perfectly fine to wear. She then storms off, shielding her kids' eyes. Something tells me she will contact the con, but they're definitely going to tell her what I told her about how as long as I didn't show anything I shouldn't, I'm perfectly fine to wear my costume. And because she doesn't have any proof of how my cosplay looks. I'm still curious why she was even there. Somebody in the comments said something like, oh, well, maybe she likes Harry Potter and that's why she's there. That's witchcraft. I don't know why, she'd be there for that. Wear your costumes. Like she said, as long as you're not wearing anything that's showing, like your bits, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And if she is that worried about it, then maybe don't bring your child to a cosplay where people are dressing risque. Friend told me I won't find a good man if I post pics like this. Am I overreacting? I, 32 female, haven't posted on Instagram in ages. And when I finally did, a simple selfie in a tank top and joggers, a friend, 31 female, blew up my phone telling me I shouldn't post photos like that if I want to find a good man. She even dragged her boyfriend into it, saying he also thinks it's too much and that men will only use me if I post stuff like that. Now, we don't slut shame here, but this outfit must be something if it's making even the guys go, whoa. Oh my God, she must be wearing the Princess Leia outfit too. For context, I'm not someone who posts raunchy or too revealing stuff. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not my thing. That's why I was so caught off guard. It felt like she was trying to say I'm single because of how I post, which stung because she knows that's a sensitive spot for me. Now I'm sitting here wondering if she was really looking out for me or if she just wanted to knock me down a peg. Am I overreacting for being hurt by this? Well, let's read the text messages and find out.
Should you really be posting photos like that? You keep saying you want to find someone. I don't see what type of man you can attract with that type of photo online. Even boyfriend said so, and he's a man, so he knows everything. Just looking out for you, girl. You're cute. We get it. You're so good at drawing. Post that, or even crochet. Most men would just want to use you seeing pics like that.
Poster then says, girl, what? Seriously, are you okay?
I'm great. Like I said, just trying to be a good friend and tell you what others won't.
I know you guys are dying to see what she was wearing because obviously it had to be so risque. It must be so revealing. I don't even know if I can show you. Here it is. Well, I mean, you're absolutely covered. You're not showing any skin aside from your arms, which last I checked is not something considered risque. I wonder what it is that your friend doesn't like. The jealousy is screaming. It is. You are a smoking hottie and your friend is threatened by that, plain and simple. Don't let her drag you down. My mom invited herself and guests to my house. Oh boy. I have been in this situation a lot. My mom called me today saying that she was discussing meeting up with her cousin and his wife, who I've never met, in my city this weekend because it's in the middle of them both. The cousin has suggested a sports bar they know of. My mom replied, "No, I'm sure my daughter would like to show off her new house." I'll check if she has plans this weekend. So she has already invited herself, her parents, and her cousin and his wife, and is really calling after the fact, believing I have no choice but to politely agree. I'm such a coward, I would politely agree, begrudgingly. But I don't enjoy their company, and I'm not very comfortable meeting new people. I also had spent my Friday and Saturday last week visiting her and my brother, who was in town. Ooh, so you already seen them? Oh, 2 weeks in a row? Been there, and it is just excruciating. Should I feel safer or more afraid that I live next to an Air Force base? We've often clashed about how often I visit her. I would rather it be once a month at most, while she would have it be every day if we lived closer. This is exactly like my mom. We also have hour-long phone calls twice a week, one solo and one with the whole family. I think I've put in my time, right? You are certainly doing better than me because I never call my mom. And when she texts me, I totally gray rock her. She'll be like going on and on in the text message and I'll just put, okay. So I said, no, I'd rather have my own normal weekend. She says,
Oh, wow. Well, I'm kind of offended.
I say, I'm sorry. She says,
Well, that's something you can say, but I would never do that to you.
yeah, but you see, the daughter, us, would never do that to you. We would never just drop by your house with our friends and just expect to just stay there. We would ask. I don't really like having guests, especially not guests who are totally new to me. I don't know these people.
If you feel so opposed to it, okay, I guess, bye.
She obviously doesn't care about your feelings in this situation at all. She texts me 5 minutes later saying,
I'm going to avoid you until I get over this.
Okay, Mom. That's what we want. Thank you, Mother. I ignored the text. Then about an hour later, my dad called me and he pleaded with me to reconsider. He says he doesn't think I'm in the wrong, but it could be an opportunity to be accommodating and giving. I say, no. She's throwing a fit and expecting everyone to jump and calm her down. It's not my job to regulate her emotions. I also tell him I know he's in a tough position and I'm sorry, but don't count on me changing my mind. Update. Oh my gosh, I grabbed him with an update. Go Sam! There's not a lot to say, but my mom has sent me Bible verses the last 2 mornings. Telling me to love my neighbor, do good works, and walk in the light. I've ignored them all. Why don't they take their own advice? My dad also called me for a different reason, but did end up saying, I almost want to tell her to stop this silent treatment and just work it out, and don't put me through another second of this bullshit. Well, Dad, you could tell her that she's in the wrong for just assuming that she could come and stay for as long as she wants and bring a bunch of people and put you out for however long. I mean, there's so much that goes into it, too. It's not just staying somewhere for free. You got to clean up after everybody. You got to make sure there's food in the house. People are going to be using the bathroom and the toiletries. There's so much more that goes into it than just sleeping in somebody else's bed. I said, yeah, you should do that because this is bullshit. He said, yeah, well, if you could, give her a call and work it out. We always have to be the bigger people, don't we? And by we, I mean just anybody in general that has been shit on or taken advantage by somebody else. Somebody that's done you wrong. You're always expected to be the bigger person. Why? Am I overreacting to my husband saying I'm not as attractive because I'm aging? Oh, I instantly am going to say no, he's an asshole and kick him out right now. But let's read before I judge because I have been wrong before on a title that just seems so obvious. I'm female 33, not some gorgeous model girl, but I'm definitely not unattractive. When I look at myself, I don't think I look bad. I actually think I look pretty decent most days, even without makeup. Yes, I have fine lines. lines. Yes, I've got cellulite. Yes, I've got saggier breastfeeding boobs after 3 babies. Yes, I've got some gray hairs. I am physically active and am in pretty good shape. And most people who don't know me have mistaken me for a 25-year-old. I've noticed the past 4 years or so my husband, male 32, rarely tells me I'm pretty. I only hear that I'm sexy when he's in the mood, or he will tell me I'm pretty when I get really ready, like full hair, makeup, and dress on. Otherwise, he says nothing to me. My friends recently were telling me how they think it's so funny that their husbands all tell them that they find them most attractive when they're in their sweats with no makeup. Like their husbands always want to jump their bones when they feel their most unattractive selves. And I could not relate at all because that just does not ever happen anymore with my husband. So I asked my husband why he never does, and he said, I've gotten older and just overall people are just less attractive as they age. I'm sorry, what? That's just not true. And it's kind of gross that he said that too. That's a little bit of a red flag there, right? I'm not crazy, am I? I mean, I am, but I'm not crazy on that, right? He even compared himself and says he finds himself less attractive as he's aged, but I completely disagreed and said I find him more attractive as he's aged. Yeah, my husband is still just as sexy to me now as he was back then. In fact, I feel like as we've gotten older, I find him even sexier. I think as you grow as a couple, your person just becomes to a point where the person you're with, they'll just never be anybody else that you even want to look at because they're just so sexy to you because of the life you've built together. I'm shocked though, because we are still young 30s and he already finds me less attractive, and young 30s is still so youthful in my opinion. It is! I'd give anything to be in my 30s again. I'm like, what the heck are you going to think of me when I'm 60? He said he used to think I looked cute without makeup on, but now I look better with it on. He said he still finds me attractive, but just not as attractive when we met 12 years ago. Oh! My God, is this real? I don't know. That just shot my confidence down so bad. Yeah, I would be heartbroken. I actually like the more mature look I have now compared to my baby face look in my early 20s. I'm grateful for the honesty he gave, but dang, I just don't know what to do. I hate that I feel less secure in myself. I just find him so attractive, and I feel that having this connection to this person, having a whole life with kids together, makes you just love your spouse so much that they are just super attractive to you, no matter what age does to them physically, because that's how I truly feel about him. Yes, exactly. I could just be taking this harder than I should, but it has just killed my self-confidence. And I hate that I'm tying my self-esteem to him, but I can't shake it. Now that he doesn't tell me I'm pretty, I notice it more often. I have asked him to tell me that he thinks I'm pretty more often since he said he still finds me attractive, and I need that validation right now, as desperate as that sounds, but he doesn't. He says he just doesn't think to tell me, but he still finds me attractive. He says I shouldn't be basing how I feel about myself to whether he tells me I'm pretty or not, and I understand that, but it's just thrown me off. This guy's just a f***ing asshole. Bullshit with that crap.
You shouldn't need his validation.
That is your husband. You absolutely want to hear from your significant other that you're pretty, that you're beautiful. You need them to hold you, and you need to feel that connection. He is being a total Coven. We have another update. 2 in 1 video? I'm giving myself a gold star after this. Okay, so first off, I didn't want to make a super long post, so I spared details of how he said things. He is a really nice person, but he is also a straight shooter. Oh no. Oh. I think I know where this is going, guys. He wasn't super mean when he made these comments. It was him trying to be as nice as he could, but he does struggle to find the right words a lot. And I actually appreciate the honesty. It doesn't matter how he said it. That's mean. Telling your significant other that you don't think they're as attractive because they're aging, and that they basically are like,
no, I'm not going to tell you you're pretty even though you asked me to.
That's mean, no matter how you sugarcoat it. I would say I'm very intuitive when it comes to someone lying to me. This conversation has been brought up a few times in the past 3 years or so. Oh, wait a minute. This has been going on for 3 years? And I have a pretty good intuition when someone isn't being honest. I'd rather have honesty than someone trying to preserve my feelings, especially with this. I don't want him telling me he thinks I'm attractive if he doesn't. Oh, I think she might be lost cause, ladies. She's willing to put up with someone being shitty to her and defend him now online just so that she's not alone, I guess. I mean, she would be alone with 3 kids, That would be really hard, but I don't know. It feels icky. And I do want to reiterate, he did say he still finds me attractive, just not as attractive as when I was 21. Oh, well then that makes it okay that your husband, who's growing up now into his 30s, only finds girls that are under 21 attractive. I'm such an idiot. Sorry it's getting long, but a lot of comments have opened my eyes to maybe he feels a certain way about himself. And so this is coming from within, and I honestly hadn't really thought of that. Whatever. He grew up in a house where beauty matters. Everyone in his family is very attractive. His mom was in beauty queen pageants and won. His sisters are literally some of the prettiest people I've ever seen, and his brothers always get attention. My husband is a very attractive person physically as well. His mom is in her 50s. Okay, I don't care about any of this. Is this you trying to say that because he's good looking and his family's good looking, that it's okay that he treats you like shit? That's all I'm hearing. I think I need to let my ego drop a little and give him a little extra, like dressing up more and wearing makeup more often. But I also think he needs to do inner work on himself so that he isn't basing pretty and attractive just solely on my looks, because I will not be able to hold on to the looks forever. I don't think you have an ego. Your husband telling you that you're not as pretty as you were when you were 21 is a big problem. I think that's a huge red flag. You don't have an ego for wanting your husband to think you're beautiful without having to be a size 2 and big full makeup and hair and in heels. That's just not normal. That would be a superficial marriage. We should love our spouses no matter how they look, dressed up or in their and one shorts. So I was feeling crazy after reading this, but I went to the comments and thank God the comments gave me a little bit more of my sanity back. 33, aging. Sorry, but you're still young. He's an idiot. Yes, I told my partner about this. He made a face and said OP needs to get away from that man. Look, that's a rude thing to say to anyone of any age, but 33? Excuse you for looking like an adult and not a teenager. Something is really wrong here. If OP gets to our comments, please dig deeper. The age excuse really seems like a cover for something bigger. My husband would never say that to me. It seems like he is almost writing his last chapter with her. Now, this last comment, this was actually the most upvoted comment. They actually got like something on Reddit where you get like an award. I think that they said it perfectly.
Having a whole life with kids together makes you just love your spouse so much that they are just super attractive to you, no matter what age does to them physically, because that's how I truly feel about him.
He doesn't love you the same way you love him. I'm so sorry to be blunt, but that's what I'm getting from this. I think anyone would be wrecked for their spouse to tell them they do not find them as attractive, especially in your 30s. You're not overreacting. He sounds superficial in his basis for how he views you. So, Coven, what do you think? I feel like there's so many different ways that we could explain what's going on here. Is he having an affair? That was kind of where my mind went to, first of all. Is he gross, wanting like younger girls? I don't really know. Really, does he just not love her anymore? And I don't know. It's really heartbreaking. And the way that she is defending him and saying like, well, I could do better. No, it's not you, it's him. And you shouldn't defend him because what he's saying to you is really mean and you deserve better. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to love yourself, guys. Stay safe. I will see you next time. I love you guys.